How to get your art noticed in social media? Is it better to focus in quantity or in quality? How to make art part of my routine? Today we're gonna answer 10 questions that every artist has. What's up guys, Lucas here. I'm a concept artist and illustrator. If you're new to this channel, I make videos about how to improve as an artist, and if that is something that you like, consider subscribing. Special shout out to my community on Instagram because these are the ones that gave me these awesome questions. So if you want to send me some of your questions or maybe see some more behind the scenes and just in general get a lot more of my content, then be sure to give me a follow at Lucas Peinador. At Dries Dross asks, what should be the ratio between studying versus implementing what I have studied in my art? Well, it really depends on where are you in your career. So if you are a complete beginner, let's say that you're just starting, you should not be studying at all. Just go have fun, doodle around, and just get in love with art. When you decide that you want to take art seriously, right around the middle of your road, then the percentage of studying goes up almost to 80%. That means for every 10 hours that you're drawing, 8 of them should be studying. 2 hours of creating just to keep in love with your art and apply your knowledge. As you progress, you can invert the study versus implementation time so that when you have solid fundamentals, you can 100% finally dedicate to just paint what you like. Adan Lopez asks, what are the most effective ways to make yourself known as an artist? This is a great question. Social media, I assume, is what you're asking, so there are several ways on how to succeed there. One of them is just plainly be amazing with your art, and that is of course the thing that we all know. If you're a great artist, you're going to get your art noticed. But believe it or not, that is actually not the number one way for you to become a good artist. There are many good artists that are not popular in social media. So there are better ways actually on how to succeed in social media and get your art out there. Second way is draw fan art. This one I am a very big fan of, especially back then when I was just posting my art on DeviantArt. It was a big thing, okay? You could definitely see the ratio, the difference between pieces that were fan art versus pieces that were original. People really gravitate to fan art. So if you want to have an impact, if you want to put your art out there, really go for fan art. You're gonna notice a difference. There is a reason why my most popular video by millions of views is the Spider-Man drawing that I did, because it is actually, I think, one of the very few fan art pieces that I have done in this channel. So yeah, it really works. Third way that you can succeed and post your art in social media, make it stand out, is to stick to a style. The artists that I have seen that succeed lately in social media, especially on Instagram, because it's super overcrowded right now, so you need to be really diligent to succeed there, is to stick to a style. You have to draw the same type of characters, the same type of drawings, but unfortunately this can backfire and you can stop progressing in your art quality. So be really careful on why you do it and if you decide to do it. And the fourth way to get your art noticed and out there is to, of course, and you know this one, post constantly. You have to post constantly if you want to make an impact. So there you go. Dries Dross asks, quantity or quality? In this case, actually both are necessary. If you're decided that you want to improve, then you have to draw as much as possible. You have to fill up sketchbook after sketchbook. But on the side, I would say you can work on some bigger pieces that will challenge your capacity. For example, a great schedule that you could try is to practice every single day in your sketchbook, go to figure drawing classes, experiment with different techniques, go to cafes, and have just some fun drawing time. But also every day when you come home after you warm up, you can start working on a big piece. For example, I would try to finish a big piece every week or every couple of weeks, and that will really stretch your capacity as an artist. Use your sketchbook as a playing ground for you to then go and apply that knowledge in your personal pieces. Likith Kumar asks, how do you manage to deal with confusions, balance between being an artist and the rest things in life? That is heavy. Art-life balance is a very real thing. It's a very hard problem. For most of us, art is not just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. It is very hard for friends, family, partners to understand that. So you have to set your priorities straight. How much do you love this? Does it make you happy? You have to have some self-awareness in here to make this happen. Ask yourself if you're happier drawing or hanging out with your friends on the weekend. If you prefer to hang out with your friends, there is nothing wrong with that. Just know that your art will pay the price. You have to make your own balance in your life. Prioritize the things that make you happy. That is the most important thing. And be honest with yourself. Are you willing to pay the price to take your art to the next level? It's completely on you. Dries Draws again says, how do you stop getting demotivated because of low Instagram followers or reach? It's a funny thing, it actually doesn't matter how many times we hear this. I'm affected by this also, but it is the truth. Followers don't matter. Social media skills versus art quality is definitely not the same. There are amazing artists out there that don't have more than 10,000 followers, and there are not very good artists out there that have just hundreds of thousands. There are two different skills. Of course, having a great art will help you bring followers, but they are two different games. Don't value your art quality with likes. It is the most important, most essential thing, and we know it is true, but we just don't accept it. Likes doesn't equal good art. Kaushik Kids asks, should I create art that I love or what my audience wants to see? Oof, those questions are real. So the answer is both. First, you have to take care of what you love, but I'm not gonna just be all corny and tell you that you can just follow your heart and it doesn't really matter what you draw. If you want to have an impact in things like social media, you have to appeal to a specific audience or maybe a specific studio if you're looking for that, and you have to cater them. Just please try to look for something that relates to what you love, you know? There is a job out there and there is a target audience for every artist out there. If you just like to draw furry ponies, then draw furry ponies because it's what you love. Focus first on that and then try to find somebody that will like these things that you draw, or maybe a studio that will just hire you for your furry ponies. We have two questions in one. Likit Kumar says, how do you make art a routine? And Shadow X Art says, how to consistently work. Habits are a fantastic thing. Humans are creatures of habits. There are many studies showing that most of what we do in automatic mode. How to make drawing part of this autopilot is not easy, but it is completely possible. There are many books out there that talk about this. If you want to go a little bit more in depth, then the book that I have read that is really interesting is called The Power of Habits, and I really recommend it. But I'm gonna tell you what it recommends in a very short summary. To make a habit, the best way to include a habit in your life, the best way is to attach it to another one of your habits. We already have a ton of habits in our regular life. For example, some of us have sleep at the same time, some of us have lunch at the same time, breakfast, whatever. So the key is to attach this guy to another one of the habits that is already established. For example, let's go with the breakfast one. Let's say that you always have breakfast at 6 a.m. After you have breakfast at 6:20, let's say, you usually do something else. Maybe it's a habit, maybe it is not. But you make a little time slot right there and you say, okay, after 6:20, after I finish my breakfast, I will have my sketchbook right next to my cereal bowl. And as soon as I finish, I will start drawing, and I will just draw for 10 minutes. You can just set a super small goal, 10 minutes, even 5 minutes. I will just draw then. After you do this thing, and it is proven that you have to do this thing for 21 days, and your brain will adapt itself to this new habit. And suddenly, without even you knowing, after a month of doing this thing, you're gonna finish your cereal bowl and your hand will reach for the sketchbook because you were just conditioned to do it. So yeah, I hope that helps. Adan Lopez, how do you balance what you like, your personal work, with commissioned works and other art jobs? Alright, so there is just so much time that you can work every day. If you were like myself with a full-time job as a concept artist in a studio, I usually was done when I arrived home. It is a struggle for many artists that have a creative day job. It is just hard to come home and push more art out of your brain after 8 hours of constant creative job. Now it sounds like you're working freelance right now, so you have the option to take more or less paid work, and that will leave you with more time to do personal work. If that is the case, then it just becomes a question of how much money do you need to sustain your lifestyle. If you can do 5 commissions a month and be completely happy with the money, then awesome. Use the rest of the time for your personal work. If you cannot afford your lifestyle by doing, I don't know, 10 hours of work per day, then you're in a bit of a pinch, because that of course doesn't leave you any time to do personal work, and that is a tough position to be. But you know, there are many other ways to get money as an artist that don't require for you to physically be there painting. So I'm gonna put the link right here for you to check out my video of ways for artists to get some money. What I personally recommend is just do as much personal work as you can afford. At the end of the day, you're an artist mostly, hopefully, for yourself. So try to squeeze the art out of your personal projects and try to work as little as possible, as little as you can afford for brands and for just paid work. M.MSB says, how to make a portfolio interesting. Curiously, in around a couple of weeks, I'll be releasing a video exactly about this, is the do's and don'ts of your portfolio, but here's a little preview that maybe will work for you. First, start always with your best piece. This is extremely important. People that review portfolios, I have reviewed portfolios myself, a ton of them, and I have seen people review portfolios. The first piece really sets the tone for the rest of the portfolio. You open that first page, either physically or digitally, and you immediately make an adjustment, make a judgment of the person and say like, okay, this is a student that's just applying, or this is crap and I will not even look through the whole thing. Or you open the first one and you say like, oh damn, all right, like this is quality, all right, and you said yourself, you see it comfortably because you're going to be in for a treat. So definitely always start with your best piece out there. Second advice, stay in one discipline. This is a big one. It's one of the things that many artists are doing wrong in their portfolio. They throw in there some digital work, concept art, some illustration, then you see some watercolors, some portraits, then an illustration of a flower, and it's just all over the place. So please just stay in one discipline, the one that you are applying for. I assume that if you're making a portfolio, it's because you're applying somewhere. So just stick to that thing. If you're applying for an illustrator job, just put illustrations, hopefully about the thing that the company is looking for. And that leads me to the third one. Show work that fits the company that you're targeting. For example, it's very different the portfolio that you have to prepare if you're going to apply to Riot Games than if you're going to apply to King, the guys that make Candy Crush. Completely different companies, completely different interests and look. So you really gotta choose what portfolio fits better which company, okay? I hope that you get me, and if not, then just ask me in the comments. Oh, I almost forgot, when I was applying for jobs and I went to Riot Games to get my portfolio reviewed, the recruiter told me something that just got stuck in my head, and it's the best advice that I can tell people on how to apply to a company. Is very simple. The best portfolio is the one that we look and we say we can just put this thing in the game. So yeah, something that the studio can actually use. M. asks, how do you get your first full-time job? Everyone requires at least 1 year of experience, but no one wants to give you the experience. All right, yeah, this one we have heard not only in the art industry, but in every single industry. It seems to be a problem, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Are you ready for it? The 1 year experience is a lie. Good recruiters know that if they are looking for a junior artist, he or she will not have experience. The 1 year of experience is there just to scare people that have never held a pencil before and just want to apply to just see what happens. So don't worry about it. If you have a good portfolio, just apply. The experience, the 1 year of experience will not really matter. It shouldn't matter. If the guys that you come to the studio and they tell you, sorry, you don't have experience because it's 1 year and it's a junior position, just be happy that they don't take you because you don't want to work there. Spidey Draws doesn't have a question. He just says, I don't have any questions, but I have to say that you're an awesome artist. Thank you very much, Spidey. Super appreciate it. Saxena Juki says, everything. I want to know everything. So slowly getting there. Eventually I'll have hundreds of videos in my YouTube channel, so I will be able to just tell you everything. Bogomuzufur says, How do I master values correctly? I feel like I am all over the place. Values. Values is one of the most important fundamentals in art. Without it, you cannot do colors correctly. So here's my recipe to improve your values. First of all, you're gonna make studies of master paintings in grayscale, but you're going to simplify them in as few values as possible, something like this. Then you're going to try to do them, but this time from life, from objects you have in front of you, still with a limited value palette. And then, when you feel comfortable with that, then you're going to start making full range value studies, also from things in front of you, like these ones. Remember to take a photo just to evaluate that you made your work correctly, so you can compare both of them side by side, and that is it. So those are the questions. I think that there were more than 10, but 10 sounded like a good number, so I just put it there in the title. I hope that you don't mind. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video till the end. If you want to see more art content, don't forget to subscribe, and also just leave me a comment. Tell me if this helped, if you solved any of your questions, or if you have any more questions. I will be, of course, checking the comments. I always read every single one of the comments, even if sometimes I don't have time to answer all of them. I really appreciate you guys coming here, giving me a like, and all of that good stuff. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.